One of the things that we do in the book, I think, pretty intentionally, is name that the way that school systems build task forces and processes to bring stakeholders to the table is probably fundamentally broken. And that we have a lot of assumptions and patterns, to use Donnie's language from earlier, that are not serving us well in the way that we organize these processes. And both Donnie and I have kind of over a period of time and with a variety of other folks co-created kind of a set of processes that we include in the book that we feel like have an opportunity to really help leaders reimagine the process of bringing stakeholders to the table. First and foremost, there's an opportunity to map stakeholders. We have given an idea for that in the book around kind of different quadrants, K-12, higher ed, business, civic leaders. When I work with school districts around this country, and a lot of it in Colorado, um, it's very, people are really good at naming the K-12 leaders or K-12 stakeholders. Higher ed, a little less so. Business leaders, very little. Civic leaders, very little. And so it requires a whole different way of exercising muscle to map stakeholders across that full spectrum of quadrants. So just even asking those questions from a mapping perspective is critical. And then second, we talk a lot in the book about what does it mean to build an inclusive democracy through your process? How do you build a task force or committee that represents the community you serve? How do you include essential stakeholders that need to be involved in the process, like your local community groups and organizations and civil rights groups and parents groups? To your interested stakeholders, the people that will apply and we know will apply, which is often the critique of community processes. There's nothing wrong with applying. It just can't be the only vehicle for this whole thing. And then three, people that we call potential stakeholders, people who need to be involved in the process, but are kind of removed from the system and structures. And we recommend a process called sortition, which essentially is like a jury selection for those folks. And we've now employed that in multiple processes where a school district picks key stakeholders, they do an application for another set, and they do a lottery selection for the other set. And the mix that comes together has the opportunity to withstand, in our experience, enormous political pressure, because it is a fundamental reimagining of the structure that typically gets constructed, which is let's put an application out, let's see who applies, and then go forth, when that's often not really a legitimate construction of the community it serves.